Hey y'all.
No, you're hot.
I
Yo.
I I, I am. I'm not gonna. Sometimes, most of the time, without.
Oh, I turned off my camera earlier. You got to switch me and Obi. My
Ah,
B.
y'all
Sorry.
switch.
Sorry, my
You.
B.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Actually, a couple of us.
Yeah, you and I are the only ones in the right place, Val.
You
I'm sorry, Val.
did
Oops.
that to me on
I'm
purpose,
sorry.
and then I minimized
sorry.
Zoom, so now
Sneaky.
everybody is frozen. Okay, now we're back to where we belong. I
Excellent.
swear. And then
Excellent.
Casey's head is like really up there and really big. I don't know what's up with your head there, buddy. But I fixed it. No, I fixed it. I changed. You messed it up. Lean it back down. No. Okay, hold on. So we're here. We're queer mostly, and we're playing some Avatar. It's finale, book 2, Anger. You know what? We're gonna jump into it, and Arnica's gonna start us off with the final icebreaker of the season, and all that other good stuff with our intros. Go ahead, Arnica. Take it away, friend.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming back and joining us for the finale episode of A Rain of Smoke and Ashes Season 2, Anger. I'm your GM, Arnica. It's been a pleasure having you for this season. We're going to go around, introduce all our players, and I'm going to ask one last icebreaker question for the go of it, and it's a good one. This is Val's fault because Val said, yeah, they had grits and eggs breakfast, and grits are delicious. And let's go ahead and start a fight.
I
Hey,
know
y'all.
exactly what you're doing.
sugar or salt on your grits, and then sugar or salt on your character's grits. Go. Let's start with Mare.
Hi, I'm Mare. I use they, she pronouns, and I am playing your lovely boy Wong today. Um, it's gonna be salt for both of them because I've never had sweet grits, actually, so I don't have a reference. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I wasn't reacting to you never having sweet grits. Lots of people haven't. It's just fairies never had grits at all, and now I'm traumatized.
To be fair, Fairy's Canadian, like from Saskatchewan, Canadian. So,
I mean,
like, I would
valid.
like to point out that as an American living up here, I have to go across the border to get grits. Like,
Valid. All right. You good.
Mhm.
Next time you see Val, tell Val make you grits.
What is the correct answer, though?
I mean, here's the thing.
It's a cultural thing. It's a race
There
thing.
Okay.
is no
Yeah.
correct there really
Okay.
is no
Yeah.
correct answer, but it will start a 40-minute fight on Black Twitter in a minute. It can go anywhere from 40 minutes to 4
True.
days. You just say salt or sugar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm team sugar.
Anyway,
Chaotic good. Hi, Ovi.
Hi. I am Obadiah. I will be playing Kim Ji-woon. Uh, Unquestionably the greatest firebender in this and perhaps even any party. And as for Kim Ji-woon's grits, salt for character, and even for luxury. For me, sugar. Yeah, it helps. It helps me. It helps me. Sugar.
Yes.
Tis what tis.
Fantastic. Casey, how about you?
All right. Well, I'm Casey. I play Lo Fong, our non-bender optimistic friend. Um, and if we're in the mood to start fights, then let's start a fight. I hate grits. They are gross.
he's from Ohio.
Uh,
So I do not eat
You
them
don't
at
know no
all.
better. You don't know no
Um,
better. You don't know no better.
and Lo Fong probably eats them unseasoned.
Just does he even put butter in them? I don't.
Probably not. They're for
Plain
subsistence.
corn
They're for
gruel.
subsistence.
Oh my God. Okay, but y'all, I think we can all absolutely perfectly imagine Lo Fong just in a squat. It's drizzling outside. He's just in the corner of a cave, just mean mugging the rain, eating some plain ass grits.
he is in a Waffle House. Fucking it's somehow it's not even open. But he's in there eating his plain ass grits, and none of the workers are fucking making eye contact because they don't know when he
Yes,
got here or how he got them grits.
that part. They're like, you know what? I will fight anybody except that man eating plain grits. I don't think I want none of that.
Unseasoned grits.
And you know if the Waffle House ain't engaging, you don't want to engage.
All right, y'all.
Wow.
Here's the thing about me and grits. It's not as simple as sugar or salt for me. Because one, it's Tony Chachere's butter and sunny side up fried eggs chopped up into the grits. But I also put salt in my oatmeal. I put sugar in my oatmeal, but I also
Sugar
put
and
salt in
salt.
it because the salt does actually bring out sweetness.
I mean,
That's why I put salt
I
on my
put salt in
watermelon
my
as well.
water.
Okay.
My daddy put salt on his watermelon, and I get that.
Mhm.
I don't like salt on my sweet things. I'll put salt in the water, but I'm not putting salt on the finished oatmeal.
Yeah.
You eat your grits like my mama does. I mean, she doesn't put the extra spice on there because she is, ooh, I've
Yeah.
never my mother was the reason why I'm like, it is okay to have severe food restrictions because obviously this is fine. That poor woman. But mm-mm. The eggs though, eggs and butter.
Eggs and butter.
Sunny side
Mhm.
up, cut up real small, mixed in her grits. She's happy as a pig and shit. She loves that.
And I used to, when I was a kid, I used to put like a lot of milk in my grits as well to make them like extra creamy. So I liked them really creamy. And then as far as and here's like the other thing, like I'm also a shrimp and grits person. I don't eat sweet grits with shrimp. You don't eat shrimp grits with shrimp. So yeah, that's our
That's
fight.
true.
So everybody else, you don't want to fight about it. It's okay. There is no wrong way to eat grits. It's just how you were raised and what you had access to.
Except for one of the ways
Except for
that they're
plain, that is the wrong way to eat grits.
Actually, the correct way to eat grits is to dump them into the garbage and
Okay,
Somebody's living the house of privilege.
We ha-
Jeez.
you are.
the invitation is about to get torn the fuck up.
Right. Somebody's about to get blood baked.
The quarter.
So anyway.
well, Lo Fong's not going to be around for season 3. Got it.
Hey everyone, got a couple of reminders. It is finale, but just because it's finale, it still doesn't mean you can't gift us with things. In fact, I love getting, gifts on finale day. But you can affect this game with your bit subs and donations. Every 100 biddies give us rerolls. Subscribing to the channel or gifting subs gets us +1s. And if you give us money, there could be a Waffle House that we can walk into. That's like, I'm gonna say like a 25 donation, and we'll have a Waffle House meeting. like, somehow, like Avatar's version of Waffle House. I'd say for $10,000 you can get us to stop streaming, but it is the finale, so I wouldn't waste your money. But you can still give us $10,000.
I'll gladly take it.
We'll be like everyone here could use 2K. I'm just saying, split evenly between us, and we'd be good to go. Also, a reminder for those of you who don't know, like Avatar is a show, and we are specifically in the timeline of Avatar where the Fire Nation is actively committing genocide, and we understand that right now in the real world there is actual genocide happening in both Palestine and the Congo, and this is something that could be a little much for people because it is reflecting the real world as we see it right now. Also, there's Avatar goes for a lot of things and challenges the system as a show. It always has. But what I'm saying is we're taking care of ourselves and we want you to take care of yourself. If this is too much, please walk away. But if you're here for some catharsis, we're here for you. And with that, I'm done, and let's get started.
Okay. So it's been a busy couple months for y'all. It really has.
Has it been
You
that long? I
have
feel like it's only been 2 weeks.
Well,
Like a whole month. Like, sorry.
y'all are like right on the outside of a month
Mm-hmm.
because there is
We had one
travel
full moon.
time.
Yep.
You've had one full moon, so you are like right on the outside of a month. But it's been a hell of a month. Anytime y'all weren't in the air traveling, y'all was going through it. Y'all have been getting the business politically. Somehow it is even more exhausting than getting the business running across the world, smuggling babies. Less poop, more exhausting. There was not less poop. There was an exploded outhouse. I
It's a lot of
remember
poop.
what you
There
did.
was
There was a
more
lot of
poop.
poop. There was more poop this season than ever before.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. Um, and now you find yourself at the edge of the Earth Kingdom. You are in the you are in the presence of one of the few remaining adult airbenders, Sisters Isan and Ryzen. God damn it.
Ryzen,
I
I
already
think.
forgot. Ryzen. Thank you.
Pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
I keep mixing her and her girlfriend up. I keep combining their names into a portmanteau.
That's the
I
ship name.
I do. They're both the ship name. And you're just gonna have to guess which one I'm actually talking about. And that's just gonna be how it is. You are in the presence of one of the last surviving airbender adults. Um, and you were supposed to be just delivering her safely to a ship. From there, some of you had planned to head further into the Fire Nation. Some of y'all were gonna turn around and go home. This was supposed to be your deliver Frodo to the elves and go home moment. And instead, just like then, you find yourself going, well, shit, I guess we going further, huh? So you've had an unfortunate run-in with Wong's grandfather. He was such a dick, but you got the better of him. Y'all have left his entire squadron in the angry hands of the Madam of the Luscious Mandarin. Y'all have snuck past the younger upstart who really thought he was going to show up your grandfather. He had staked out the right boat. He had his men waiting. He had given out all the right bribes. Y'all just went right past both of them. Just whoop, woo on the
Get
way
wrecked.
by. Get wrecked. Um, and now you head out towards the old man and his clearing. Uh, so as you walk, I'd like to point out that y'all have been very busy, and Lo Fong and Wong, you have not actually had the chance to do what you went into town to do. So since you're heading back in the direction of your friends don't know that there's other people there that y'all are trying to avoid, why don't you go ahead and pick up, tell us what's going on as you walk through the dark.
I'm gonna be honest, Casey. Wong completely forgot at this point. He ain't saying shit because he don't remember. He's walking at the back of the line, um, heavily dissociating.
Yeah, yeah. Wong, look, it's allowed. Wong's had quite a day. Um, but Lo Fong remembers that there are some Fire Nation folks camped out in the woods. I don't think we
No,
actually found where they
we
were.
didn't.
So I Lo Fong would definitely like make sure to warn everyone that we need to move quietly because there are men somewhere in these woods that we need to avoid at all costs because he kind of looks at everyone's like, I don't think we're in the best condition to fight more of these right
You're
now.
not, because don't forget, not only are there Fire Nation, but with them is who? Was it
Oh, yes.
your school nemesis in
Yeah.
assassin school?
Yeah, there's also some of my former people there that we have to look out for.
I have a serious question.
Yes.
Did Kim Ji Woon actually put his shirt back on yet?
No.
How long has it been? How
I
long has it
mean,
been?
y'all been walking for I don't know about half an hour.
No.
I mean, does he even have his shirt? I thought he just left it
No.
behind
No.
in the,
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
the
her
beans
shirt now.
grabbed my bag.
Yeah, what shirt does he have to wear right now? The
He
answer is
Uh,
none.
doesn't.
The answer is none.
there's whatever is on the old man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I imagine you didn't bring like your entire pack with you because we were supposed to just drop her off at the boat or whatever, right? And left it with the old man. But yeah,
Oh yeah, but we have to get back to the old
you
man for
do.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're just your titties out.
Tease out.
Right?
yep.
Look at that. It was Kayam breasting breastily in season 1, and now it's Kim Ji Woon.
One season for each person,
Right?
Everyone will
boobly,
have
There
their
will,
tits
breastlin,
out.
whatever.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So next season, I need Casey. Man, I need y'all to start thinking who's gonna be doing the titty out parade next season, 'cause or take it to.
Well, they haven't seen Lo Fong without his shirt on. They haven't seen all of his scars and shit yet.
That's
So
true.
That's true.
I am imagining though, Lo Fong's just fucking jacked.
Oh, probably.
But yeah, Kayam is just a malnourished beanpole. But anyway, so like, okay, so we're moving quietly through the wilderness to avoid people.
Yeah, and I'd probably be out a little bit ahead of everyone, like actively scouting
Mm-hmm.
and like signaling when it's safe to move forward.
All it says is "dang it." Is that a roll?
No.
I'm like, wow, when did we add that option? That's great. I want to push that button too.
I mean, you
But
can make a you can make a
it is
you can
it
make a
is going
macro
to
for
be
it.
it could be. I can't. I'm technologically no. Nana can't do that. What I will say though is since I'm already looking at the roll 20, why don't you go ahead and roll with your skills and training since you are coursing in front, and let's see how this is going for you.
Okay, well, let's see. Skills and training is focus.
Hell yeah.
It's a 14.
That's the
Ooh.
max you can go, my dude.
No.
Oh.
No, I can get up to a 15.
Oh, okay.
He said, I'm
Almost.
built different.
I have
Oh,
plus
you have a
3 on
plus three. Okay.
focus. Yep.
Man, the
So
roll didn't show up on the roll 20 though. So like, what? If,
Oh, scroll down. Scroll down. It's in there.
yeah,
Yeah, it's there.
it hasn't come into my.
Yeah,
There
that's
it goes. There it goes. I had to click on the
There
roll
we
20
go.
window and it
Yes.
came up 14. Yep. Cool.
so as you are, you know that you have important information that you need to let Kayam and Kim Ji Woon know as soon as y'all get to a safe place, which is the old man and then in the air.
Mm-hmm.
But
hmm
you also know who and what is in these woods. You're not wasting time trying to explain what happened. You are setting a brisk pace. Everyone is keeping up. They can tell that this is a nah for real, let's go walk. Everybody's like, all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Um, you scan through and you manage to see every tiny little your trail skills are spectacular. They were good when you were younger, and they've only gotten better during your years on the run. You catch every one of those little signs that lets you know to steer wide around where someone has been. You are on high alert because you know that that you are not the most dangerous man in these woods tonight. You might be when you're well rested, but you've already been in a couple fights, you're tired, it's not you. And you would like to keep it so that the most dangerous man is bored and pissed off and spends all night in the cold waiting for a goddamn bird that will never show up.
Yep.
um, so you guys get to the old man faster than you expected because Lo Fong does such a good job leading you around and through. Um, you start breaking down camp very quickly. very quietly. Um, it
I
had
would
once again,
love to help break down camp, but I don't know
you
if my
would.
arms are still working yet.
It is not.
Yeah, we've
Anyone
probably just
who has been,
deposited you in the saddle.
I was
yeah, if
literally
you
just
have
about
been
to say,
sent,
like, I was gonna say, like, the first thing that, like, noticing that you're not probably gonna help camp, I think I just immediately like pick you up and bring you into the saddle.
Oh, this is how much shorter are you than I am?
I'm like, I feel like I'm on like the 5'8" range.
Okay, so you're like a full like 5 inches, 4 inches shorter than me.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'd
so
help.
that's funny.
yeah, he can do it.
I don't need help. He's light.
I mean,
That's
technically,
Let
fair.
me
I don't
be
need
gay,
help
Casey.
either. I could just like, I don't know,
He's light,
ride
he's
a.
just long.
I
It
could,
works.
I could get, but I'm not gonna deny being carried by cute men. Like,
That part.
just
Look, Lofong respects your romance, but like this isn't a time to care about that. This is a time to fucking move.
No, no, no.
So
And that's what we're doing.
yeah,
I don't make a gesture out of it, deposit, and then go clean.
yeah.
Respect the romance on the player side.
Yeah, like because all of my concentration is
Yeah.
legitimately trying to go through my own biometrics to see where, um, like where that like I am like intensely studying, like what was hit and how it's affecting my arm that I move normally and my blood bended arm that I normally move and how that like I'm just like and I'm hyper focused on that right now.
On a scale of 1 to nippy, how cold is it right now?
You know, you've been walking fast enough that you weren't cold. You're gonna start getting cold. You are definitely gonna want to put a shirt on before you get into the air. You've been on the bison enough to know that now. Like,
Okay.
so you should probably start looking for a shirt at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah, we're doing like a speed pack. Like everything's just going in bags, and we're not like packing it nicely. It's going in a pouch, getting chucked, and we're going.
It's just it's getting secured, and that's about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm digging around enough to get me some clothing and then into the saddle.
So it is once again, you guys are just it's so fucking convenient having an airbender to help saddle an air bison.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have gotten amazingly good at doing it for people who can't airbend. But again, these saddles are meant to be handled by a couple people with some ropes to keep it from going too high and one person to go woof with a big old gust and doop.
Yep.
And so she does. Time you're kind of right there. They've tucked you into the corner. She's super gentle because she doesn't want to jostle you out of it. But I don't think you were quite paying attention. It may catch you a little bit by surprise as the
Mm-hmm.
saddle goes boom up onto the old man.
Yep.
Hi, I'm here. I'm awake.
Yeah.
Not dead. Not dead.
Oh, I'm definitely not dead. I feel very alive in this moment. But yeah, that was still a little, it's just the unexpected. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lofong's assisting with packing, but he's doing the tasks that can be dropped at a moment's notice if he sees something off.
Um, I'm gonna go ahead and who feels lucky? One person's gonna get to make this roll.
Who feels lucky?
Sure.
All
Go for
right.
it.
Well, go ahead and push your luck for me.
I can do that. I always forget what it is though.
Me too. Let's
How
take a
should I
look.
believe?
Passion.
I think passion sounds right.
Passion.
Wish you luck, yeah. Full success.
Nice.
Cool. Uh, nobody interrupts. Everybody, you all move. You've gotten so used to each other. You move around each other silently. No one trips. No one bangs. Everyone knows what to do. It is the work of minutes. Breaking down your camp is normally like a 45-minute job. Y'all are done in 15. Everything is on the old man. He's saddled, he's cinched in. Y'all have hopped up, everyone's mounted. Uh, and now this is going to be the most dangerous part because Lofong, you know this. No one else really knows, but you know that there are people in the woods. What there are firebenders specifically, and an earthbender at least in the woods, watching the sky. They're watching for something significantly smaller, but they will sure as shit see y'all take off.
Mhm.
And it's going to take you at least one good circle to get elevation. So there is going to be a moment when y'all are in danger.
What is the foliage / canopy situation in this area?
It is it's pretty decently thick.
Yeah.
That's why you guys had to look for a real specific clearing and why he's not going to get enough space to be able to go up. He's going to have to jump and circle to get elevation.
It's currently dark, right?
It is dark.
Okay.
And he's not a young dude, so he's not that kind of bright, creamy white that Appa and them is. He is a dark brown and
Sure.
gray. So he's not quite as visible, but also he's
Well,
fucking 45
here's
feet long. You can see him.
sure, but here's what Lo Fong is thinking.
Okay.
It's dark out. If we create a spot that is bright nearby, they might not be able to see us slip out behind it. I think we set trees on fire and then fly out.
I was literally gonna suggest us making a distraction. My next question was like, Kim, how fast can you run?
No, I think we just set the canopy around us on fire.
Oh, around us. Okay, I
Yeah,
was
and
thinking
just
more
take
distraction.
we take off through it. They'll see the fire, but hopefully it'll be so bright that it'll mask us getting through it.
Just stay low. Don't. Smoke damage isn't fun to your lungs.
I also would have just suggested I was just going to wrap them in the canopy as we took off.
We don't know where they are.
Yeah.
I'm all for setting some stuff on fire. I was maybe even a little farther away so they can go in another direction.
That means a little bit of running to catch up, doesn't it?
Run fast.
Mm.
And it's going to
Alright.
take a little bit anyway to like get to a proper blaze.
Yeah, true enough.
What if we
One of us or two.
What if we, instead of sending somebody out, what if we sent something that had a flame in it? Like, what if we cracked open my melon and put like a little torch in the melon, and then I send out the melon to go catch something on fire? So that way we're still already on the...
Still going to take a little bit to get a proper blaze than one of us just going pew, pew. But to answer your question, Kim, it depends how fast you can run. For one or two.
Kim's eyes narrow slightly. You realize he has probably interpreted that as a challenge.
Goes right over my head.
One it is. Yep, he's in position. He's ready to vault over the side and get this going.
So two it is. All right.
Spectacular.
I hate this.
All right.
Before we go to set some stuff on fire to yeet out and then yeet back, can I maybe try and figure out the best place to do it where we'll least likely run into anyone?
Yes. All right. So let's see. Why don't you?
As we were getting close to where the old man was, would I have been able to kind of get an idea at least in what direction the closest threats were?
You rolled a 14. You figured out anything you wanted to figure out.
Perfect.
Okay, so yeah, I know the general direction of the closest threat. So I would point you in that direction.
But I want to, if this is where the threat is and this is where the old man is, I'm aiming for something like in this direction.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
but showing you
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they are helps you figure out where you want to go.
Yeah.
Triangulate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's head in that direction, Kim Ji-woon.
All right.
I will stay with Kayam and the old man and the airbender.
Head
Thanks.
out, shoot some fire, sprint back.
Okay. We're about to split y'all up. Now, the sister looks at the two of you. Kayam, you're in the saddle. Lofong, you are on the ground where you have are you on the ground where you have command where you have movement, or are you on the old man where you have commanding view?
Um, hmm. I think we want to be ready to go as soon as they're back. So I'm probably on the old man, but I'm like not in the saddle. I'm like kind of on his back, ready to leap off if something happens.
Okay. Lord, I almost died on
Well, don't
with an
do that.
anvil.
You okay?
You ass no, no, the anvil betrayed me.
It
That's what I
happens.
get for sucking on it in my mouth for like 30 seconds like it's candy though. Um I did it to myself. Anyway, so good. So you have chosen a commanding view on top of the old man. Um, and the sister takes a slightly higher one. She just does a little zoop. She air steps her way up to the tallest tree at the edge of the clearing. She is holding her glider. She's not even gonna have to get distant. She's high enough that she can just like zip line without a zip line right into the old man's saddle.
Yeah.
But it gives her a clear view of everything coming outside of your range. Um, and because she can airbend, she can send her voice directly to you to let you know if there's anything.
Yeah.
You guys are at the moment as safe as you can be. If there's I'm gonna let y'all set up for a conversation, and then we're gonna jump over to Kim Ji-woon and Wong. So if there's any conversation the two of y'all want to have while you're all by yourself, alone on the old man, now's a good time to do that.
Um, I think Kayam might initiate this by going. So, how long does the non-feeling and the non-movement last? Because this hasn't happened to me before.
It really kind of depends. I haven't really asked the people that I've hit with it, for
So
reasons.
nobody practiced on you?
Mm, they tried.
Fair.
Not attempts were made.
It should be fairly temporary.
Yeah.
I by like worst case, I imagine you should have feeling back by the morning.
I mean, it's not a new feeling for me. It's just and it doesn't make me useless, as I don't know if you saw that.
Oh no, I noticed. You're lucky. You're more resilient than most.
I, you'd have to go higher up to probably stop the type of bending that I'm capable of.
Well, then I will make sure that if they get near us again, that won't happen.
Lofong, remember that since we're alone, you know that talk you tried to have with me?
Uh, yes.
I don't know if we're gonna get alone time again, but how do I put this? We're, if not even you're capable of stopping me, I need you to promise that if I start using people like produce, that you stop me for good.
Lofan kind of looks at you for a second. He's like, I don't think you have anything to worry about.
You say that, but I was ready to kill everyone that wasn't my friend in that room
And yet you didn't.
this time. Power is intoxicating.
It is. But I feel like if you were going to let yourself give in, it would have happened already.
Can you still promise?
I can. I can make that promise.
Thanks. Because I don't. Kim Ji Woon's emotionally capable, but not physically capable, and wouldn't want to put that on Wong.
We all have our strengths.
Yeah. We're in less danger, though. I have something else I want to talk to you about. Um,
Of course.
that I think will be something that could put our deadly skills to good.
Well, then I am excited to get to safety so that we can have that conversation.
Yeah, me too. I really hope that these freaking nerds don't get caught. Jesus. Like,
I'm sure these freaking nerds are doing great. In fact, you know what? Let's
Freaking
check.
nerds.
That's a great place to check in on them. Let's run off that perfectly queued up line and look through the trees. As the camera pans in, you see that it's moving kind of erratically through two paths. It's snaking back and forth between a flash of foot here, an elbow there, a steely-eyed glance to the left, a steely-eyed glance to the right. It's now, this is a serious moment. It is. But also, we can't pretend like y'all aren't having a little bit of fun. Y'all are getting ready to go start some shit. Uh, you having a good night. Your blood's up. There were fights. They got one handily. There's a good-looking girl walking around right now wearing a shirt Kim Ji Woon will never see again. Like, it
That
was a
boyfriend
good,
smell.
uh-huh, that I didn't charge smell. So that Sir Pod the sex god smell in the shirt. Like, y'all having a good night. He's running. You're running. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what's going through your head as you make your way through the trees, lighting shit up or about to light shit up?
First off, I want to say I wanted to lead us if, well, Kim Ji-woon can
Lead
follow
us
if he
wherever you
wants
want
to,
to.
but I want to do like a curve instead of just doing a straight line. So we're not coming in directly in a straight path from where the old man is. So we're coming in from a diagonal instead of, why is my headphones so weird in my ears? I don't know. Anyway, um, but yeah, no, Wong is he doesn't really pay attention to Kim Ji Woon to start with, but he's especially not paying attention to like Kim Ji Woon, but not like in a rude way. Very much in a I am lost in my own thoughts kind of way while also trying not to get caught type of situation.
Okay. All right, Kim Ji Woon, are you having fun though?
This is a race, and I'm going to win it.
I feel like it's just it is all a one-sided it's a one-sided race because I'm not in it, but I'm also not
let's
like letting
yeah.
you win.
We are having two entirely different, unrelated, like mental experiences of
Oh
this
yeah,
right now.
absolutely.
And in fact, like if we are being observed, it is probably making it slightly difficult. Even like, wait, what are they? Like, what are they? Like, is it? Why is that one trying to catch? What?
Why
What is
doesn't he have
happening?
a shirt on?
No. That jacket doesn't match with those pants at all. What?
Not Kim Ji Woon in an unmatched certain jacket. Like y'all was moving fast. Damn. All right. So why don't you tell me now, as you're coming up around, as you're making this big arc, you're coming up on the spot that you wanted. Um, Wong, since you're in the lead, I'm gonna have you roll again. Rely on your skills and training, which is rolling with boop boop focus.
Focus.
Mixed
It's
success.
All right. You gonna keep it or you gonna re-roll it?
Um, I think I'm gonna keep it.
Okay. So why don't you tell me what you're aiming to do and I'll tell you how it kind of work.
I look over at Kim Ji Woon. You want to take the farther point, or do you want me to take it? And
done.
we okay. Well, two different spots close enough together so it looks like one blaze, and go ham and then go.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So the two of you separate out.
Close
Kim
enough
Ji,
within we can still see each other.
okay. You're ducking through the trees. You're going around the clearing. Kim Ji Woon makes it to the far side and immediately starts lighting things up. Just as you make it over to where you are, for some reason the wood is kind of, I don't know. Maybe the wood is damp, maybe it's greener than you expected, or maybe you're not really paying attention because part of you is still back at the luscious Mandarin thinking about your grandpa and your mom and her knife, and but things aren't really catching on your side the way they should be. The blaze really is starting to creep towards you before you really start getting things going on your side.
Okay. As long as at least Kim Ji Woon is getting a good blaze and there's going to be enough smoke to really give a distraction and or cover, fine, perfect, great.
You know, he Kim Ji Woon is definitely getting a good blaze going on his side. That is happening. Um, the smoke may be lopsided. It may not be exactly as much as you wanted. I guess you guys will find out when you get back to the old man and hit the air.
Mm-hmm. You ready?
I mean, the smoke isn't really the most important thing. It's the light pollution from the fire. But
You get like just a little extra puff of flame, just a little. Yeah. Let's go. Stage two.
Yeet back. Let's go.
All right. So, are the two of you arching back around again, or are you straight shotting as fast as you can?
What do you think, Kim Ji Woon?
Kim
Maybe.
Ji Woon is like let's listen. Got to keep the race even, and had to go further. So that means I've got like a little bit of time. Like it's okay if I arrive a little bit after you, but not too far after you. And at the same time though, like we still got to take like the same kind of path, right? Because if I'm not running as far as you, then it doesn't count. So that means yeah, I gotta arc this.
Yeah. I think also maybe more not a straight path as well, but definitely trying to make it hard to track. So definitely I'm intentionally making it difficult to track on the way back.
All right, then I'm going to say that both of you have to. I'm going to make both of you roll to rely on your skills and training as you run back to see if you leave a trail or not.
All right.
Full success.
Mixed success.
All right. So there is, for the most part, the two of you run silently. You manage to weave in and out of the trees, in and out of each other. You're both just kind of ghosting through the forest, but there is one moment where I don't know. I don't know what on earth. Maybe you sneeze, Kim Ji Woon. I don't know what you did. Why don't you tell me what you did? What noise or something you made a little bit too close. It wasn't too close to the enemy camp, but it's close enough to your camp that the air nun hears you guys coming before she sees you. What did you do?
I got ahead of Wong for like a solid like 5 steps, and it was just like yes.
Okay. And as you do,
I
as
just got
you
really excited.
bust in front, you just there is there is a gust of wind. It just for a moment, it's Sister Aizen, and she has jumped down directly in front of both of you, bringing you to a sudden halt. She is in a fighting stance before she realizes it's just the two of you. And my dude, you have never been more aware that you are in the presence of a nun as you are as she reaches out and grabs you by the side of your shirt and goes, shh, and starts marching you back towards the old man very quickly.
I feel like what happens is like Kim Ji Woon gets scolded, and I'm running up. I notice, and I just swerve around and hop on old man.
Oh no, not the insult to the injury, not the we won racing, but now we are.
It's not even like I just need to get out of here type of run. Like
Like like
I'm
like
sure,
like
Yeah.
like the old man has broken eye contact, but you can feel the dirty look tracking you.
but I'm sure like you're like, oh, that fucker. But I'm just like, we
That
need to go.
that bitch.
So
That
one-sided.
it. The race no one knew we were having. And Wong won by default. So you all hop aboard the old man, and he he arches, he moves, he rumbles, and go ahead, you give him that yip yip. He launches upward and he starts to circle. Now, Lofong, I'm gonna have you press your luck this time because you are the one driving, and let's see how the smoke cover is going.
Alrighty. That is passion. It's an 11.
Perfect.
Nice.
So the wind is moving just right. Uh, it is not accidentally moving just right either. The sister has, as soon as she saw the first hints of smoke, she started moving the breeze, gusting it through those catching leaves, this late summer foliage. And it's all just lighting up. She's feeding that as you guys gain altitude, and the smoke is swirling just ahead and underneath you. There is a solid bubble of clean air around all of you, but the smoke just billows around across. You are completely obscured as you take to the sky. Um, and you can briefly hear, right before you get too far out, people starting to yell and rally themselves. There's a fire in the woods. So, good job, y'all. You've made your escape. You are in the air and you are heading from you're heading from the frying pan to the fire. The old man is aimed towards the Fire Nation Island. But y'all have at least one good evening's worth of flying because you're gonna have to land at dawn. But you
Oh,
got some time.
Hmm.
yeah.
Which,
Oh, and everyone clear fatigue because we are traveling with my animal companion.
Yeah.
That's nice because I had a couple of
Ah,
those. Yeah.
I was at 4 of 5.
Oof.
yeah, you were.
Well, shit.
Lofong was tired.
Yep. Looks at hands. Are they working it?
You know what? You cleared your fatigue, so I'm going to say that being aboard the old man and being up closer to the moon, it's not any closer to full than it was, but you are closer to it.
We are physically
It's
closer to the
You
moon.
are physically closer. It
Like-
helps. It
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah.
It's healing rays.
Yeah.
So yes, the feeling is starting to come back. It is deeply uncomfortable. Um,
It's
but
almost
you
like
are
I'm like almost like pulling apart like my own like muscle fibers to figure out where the pressure points are to like unravel the block, right?
but
So
I don't
it's
recommend doing
not
that. That
great.
sounds uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. But I've been like trying to figure out like how it's working on me, like on my body, kind of thing. I was deep in thought and study.
Okay. So you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you an answer depending on this role. Roll with
Ooh,
your skills and training.
roll with it.
Okay.
And skills and training is hold up 1 second. I don't have my character sheet up because I don't know why. I just we got busy talking about something and I forgot. Oh, it was my body parts.
Yeah.
Let's here we go. Let me log in. What skills and training again? I don't know, Adrian.
Focus.
Focus, which is
Yep.
one of my but I might have something. That's like the other thing I have to check. This is like almost like a sensing, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's gonna use my mastery on it, which just means that like I don't have any like conditions, but everything is should trigger a move while using your mastery. Ignore penalties from these conditions or statuses. I'm fine. You can only do this if your balance is at +1 excellence or higher, which my balance is actually at +1 excellence right now. I am not at center. Ah, that is so good. It's a 12.
Excellent.
I rolled a 10 +2 because my focus is a +2.
Um, so as you are doing this very intimate deep dive into your own body, sensing out its pathways, what you are untangling is it's, you know, everybody who studies at least a little bit of waterbender medicine,
Mm-hmm.
knows some acupuncture basics, some chi flow basics, and where your basic nerve and muscle points are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what you are able to tell is that there are several points where a waterbender's chi overlays certain nerve clusters that don't always align with other benders.
Yeah.
There are some that are universal, and then some that are specific to your bending type. And so even though there was no chi to block going to those nerves, she managed to pop every one of those nerve centers and hit them hard enough that they were being compressed by the muscles. So you are slowly unclenching that. And like I said, it sucks, but you are very quickly regaining movement and mastery of that limb,
And
or at least
it's
to the same degree you always have.
and it is they are is essentially the blocking is clenching the muscles to stop the flow of chi, right?
It's causing it's causing a pinch of some kind that both blocks the nerve so that it can't receive any information and stops the flow of chi.
Yeah.
Closing the pathway so the chi doesn't move. I
Yeah.
think like the core like Korra style chi blocking is actually like closing veins, like making things like making your physical body uh unable to move. Chi
Yeah.
blocking is just
Yeah.
It kind of targets pressure points along the chi path.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Unlike Amon, who used bloodbending to block the chi paths, this is blocking nervous system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yep. And like he just says that out loud. He's like, interesting. And I want to actually kind of like confirm, like I didn't feel anything, right? Like, including like pain while I was blocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just kind of it
It
numbs
was
it.
numb.
It was numb.
It was nothing but dead weight.
Mm-hmm. As soon as I like regain like movement in my right arm and the chi flow in my left arm to where that I can like start blood bending my body, my arm, I would like to go to my bag and like hyper focus. And then I realize it's fucking dark. I close my scrolls. So I'm not gonna read today. Like, but the brain, which by the way, thank you, the Lady Dame, for the raid. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah.
Hello, Raiders.
Welcome.
Hello, Raiders.
Hey.
Just a like I just like no, you not today. You can look at it. You can look at it later. Just look at everybody and be like, well, that fucking sucked, didn't it?
Wong is, as soon as like we got in the air after like that stress of like looking out, making sure we weren't going to follow them, we're like finally out of there. Wong flopped down, brought up his knees, and he's got his head between his knees, and all you just hear is, yes.
The let me breathe deep position.
Oh yeah. Let me just like quietly hyperventilate right here.
Can I kind of like crawl over to you and like gently just like kind of like I'm gonna like start with like a gentle pat on your back, and if you like allow that, then I'm just gonna like kind of actually rub your back a little bit, to be a little bit more comforting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm doing it with my right hand so that I can actually, it's my real movement, not my fake movement.
Nice. All right, and Lo Fong, you're driving the
Driving the
buffalo.
old man. Yeah.
You got this. So y'all got some time now. You should probably. Wong is definitely busy. Wong is breathing. Wong does not remember. You should probably let them know the kind of night you've had on your side. Let them know about your stolen bird messages and
Yeah. Yeah. After having like breathed for a little bit, given a small nod to Kyan. I don't have the message anymore.
Yeah, we
But
burned it, but
yeah.
we remember
Oh yeah,
what
we
was in it.
burned it. So, probably not going to come as a surprise, but uh, Dai Li, most of us are kill on sight.
Who is most?
I am, you, and Lo Fong are kill on sight.
But not you.
I don't know why, but yeah. I thought, you know, Kim Ji Woon would have come and capture with, probably extort your family for a lot of money, but no, yours is.
Ha! Like they pay.
We don't negotiate with terrorists
Or the government.
or the government. Same thing. I said what I said.
Which, by the way, y'all didn't see this. I'm sorry to distract y'all, but I'm distracted because Nick came here to get dressed, and he disturbed Romeo into a different position, and Romeo is slightly perturbed.
Poor Romeo.
Sounds about right.
He is shifted and is not
Have
happy
Nick
about
apologize to Romeo right now.
it. He's gone.
Yeah, nah.
Anyway, continue.
That I can't out remember.
Oh,
Yeah, Kim Ji Woon saying we don't negotiate with terrorists or the government.
Wong was talking about them their bounties. Actually, wait a minute. You said kill on sight. Are they how much? How much is my head worth?
It wasn't a bounty, it was a message to the Dai Li.
Those cheap motherfuckers.
Oh, they said to apologize to Romeo because you disturbed him. Oh. Sorry.
Well, it's not cheap, at least in some people's cases. Killing them is reward enough.
Like Kim seems like kind of conflicted. Like, no money.
So
Whatever.
No money.
the Dai Li is in cahoots with the Fire Nation right now to start a war?
No. I think that old man just yeah, he doesn't think this war is his problem. You
What
know?
old man?
He's oh god, the
My
one sitting next to the
grandfather?
prince.
No.
No,
Is
No,
Isan,
Isan, yeah.
my old handler.
Your old man.
yeah, he's on. There it is. There it is. Why I should be better on Earth nobility. Yeah, whatever. But him. He I think he doesn't think I don't think he thinks of missionary nomads as exactly his problem. And considering where Bossing Say is, and considering how thick Bossing Say's walls are, I don't think he thinks a Fire Nation is ever going to be his problem either. So why stick his neck out?
I'm gonna
Based off what
look at Lo Fong in this manner. It's like your old mentor.
He's not my mentor.
Okay, well, your old boss. Sorry for misinterpreting that relationship. Um, and then I look at Wong and it's like, do you think they're friends?
based off what my grandfather implied. If I had to guess, they're not working together, they're just using each other. And each one thinks that they are using the other.
I'm gonna ask the GM a question real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much do like by reputation? How much do I know about Wong's grandfather?
Um, by reputation, Wong's family is they are just enough that you would their Wong's family has made a name for themselves in the last generation just enough that you would be expected to like you would be expected to have some rough information just in case you ever interact with them. But the adults are considered too good for that. But they might be coming up. So your generation is expected to keep an eye on it. You probably would recognize Wong's brother's name,
Right.
and you vaguely recognize Wong's grandfather's name. It's not like a super prodigious name, but it's a solid name. Like if this was Game of Thrones, Wong's family's sitting on like the Tarly level. They show up, they do the work, they're in charge of a little spot. They never really gonna move up, but they think the chance is there.
Family has been moving up over generations, like family tradition, join the military, and over like the last my mom and my grandfather is really just like hitting the peak.
Right? They will always be high rank military, but they'll never move up into nobility, but they will always be but they're getting to be pretty important on the military side. They just don't have the money. They don't have that dog in them to do that kind of backhanded shit that would get them the money that would push them over that from military to military nobility.
Also,
Knowing,
it's probably a
yeah,
class thing. Isan wouldn't.
knowing
He's
knowing Isan, his group probably has arranged some sort of tacit non-aggression pact.
well, Fire Nation soldiers are Fire Nation soldiers. Are not known for subtlety. It's probably not too easy. It's probably not too difficult to mark them all out and just work around them. Reputation on that man's pretty good. He might, well, he probably knows, but wasn't his problem, so didn't care.
Very likely.
Hmm.
Okay. So, as you guys are soaring through, you're having this discussion, you're trying to figure out, just what the fuck? Who is using who? Does anyone know? And the answer is y'all can't quite figure it out because they haven't figured it out. Both sides are trying to use each other, and we know because we've seen the future. We know which side was victorious and which side was a fucking sucker.
Okay.
We also know that even with them being a fucking sucker, the Fire Nation at best holds the Earth Nation to a standstill, and that is Isun's work. Isun absolutely sets the standard over the next couple years for how Bossing Say survives the next century. Okay. Um, but none of that is y'all's concern right now. That's for us to know. But Wong, Lofong, Kayam, Kim Ji Woon, they know none of this. It's not important to them. What is important to them is the fact that at the moment, Lofong is letting everyone know that they've intercepted this message, that y'all have managed to gain at least a 6 hour lead. Well, you had. At this point, it's probably only an hour or two before the next birds start arriving. Uh, but still, y'all managed to get a pretty decent lead. By the time they realized that Lovong was there, y'all will be several hours away, almost a day by boat because it's not a short trip. It looks like it's not a very far distance from the town to the Fire Nation, but that's a deceptively small
That's a
map. It
lot of
still
open
takes
ocean.
it's a lot of open ocean. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
look like it's very far from Hawaii to California when you're looking at it,
Yeah.
and then you get on that boat and you're like, "Oh, gotcha."
Yep.
Oh,
It's a lot of open ocean. And the thing is, with a lot of open ocean, air bisons also get tired.
and he's been resting. He's good to get y'all to the absolute nearest, smallest island on the chain. He's veering over this way. So he's going to take y'all to one of those small islands. In fact, he is heading towards in 100 years, the Avatar will find the very last air bison alive on the planet, being raised and hidden and protected by a, you know, pretty much defunct and shamed sect of fire sages. These fire sages are, you guys don't know this, it doesn't matter to y'all, but for everyone else, these fire sages are descended from, well, you'll meet who they're descended from. Uh, but they are the remains culturally of all the remains of the air fire. You know, what is the word I want? Collaboration. Collaboration is close enough. The air fire collaboration that was Sozin's sister and her husband. These fire sages are all that remain of that. That's why they're over there and everyone ignores them. And then there's the big fancy ones the Avatar goes and sees. He's heading towards that small island. He knows where the air bison rest when they come through. Because again, air nomads come through the Fire Nation all the time. This was not a war. This was they jumped them outside with no warning. So he knows where to go. He's heading towards that temple. He knows that's the safest place for him to rest. Y'all have about 4.5 hours before you get there. You don't know what you're running up on. Oh, I'm sure you are.
Finally get this finally get my coordination back. Hacky right now.
Wong knows he should try and get some rest, but he doesn't. And I don't know, after like the first portion of the journey, he ends up standing and then like pacing around the saddle of old man's.
You're gonna fall if you keep doing that.
I'm not gonna fall. I'm not gonna
Okay.
fall.
Yeah, you'll fall.
If I fall, it's only because someone pushes me.
Don't push Wong. And I look directly
Yeah.
at Kim Ji-woon. I will tear
Luckily-
you from the inside out.
Throw
Yeah.
throw up my hand. The hell are you looking at me for? I would even
You
push
You
it
know
for.
what? While we're here, I've gotta ask Kim Ji-woon. How was your first time? Because I went to get our comrades outside when they were in town. Nobody was with the air nun. And
Why did you
madam-
leave?
Well,
Why did you leave?
Because they were looking for us. But I was going to get them. You kind of abandoned me to lose your virginity.
I left after you confirmed that you were fine and you were going to stay.
I'm just asking
You
you
said
if
you
it
got-
was worth it. I'm not blaming you. I'm just asking you if it was worth it.
You were trying to change. You were trying to change the narrative. You were trying to abrogate responsibility, and I won't have it.
So
I lost my shirt. I lost my shirt for this.
Oh no, the shirt that my family bought you.
I'll do
That shirt is at the bottom of the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Lo Fong's used to sleeping in situations where he doesn't know if he's going to wake up again, so he's out.
Here's the thing about Lo Fong, he's out, but he's also sitting up straight at the
Yeah.
head of the shack.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Holding onto the reins just in case.
Yeah.
Like,
But he is effectively asleep at this point.
he's Gandalfing it.
None of us know he's actually sleeping except for probably Kayam.
Yeah. Like, but you still haven't answered the question.
You're asking the wrong. The premise
Was it
is
worth it?
deceptive.
Was it worth getting jumped? That's all I'm asking.
It is not my fault.
I'm
Wasn't
not
my
saying
fault,
it
is
is.
it?
I'm
I think he just-
asking, was it worth it?
Kayam just wants to know if you had a good time.
Lovely job. Thanks for asking. So
Yes.
You know, should we worry about bastards?
Yeah. Didn't have time.
So you didn't finish.
No. And to be clear, yeah, like perhaps it takes you a second, then you realize no, that no was the double negative. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He is just like that. No, it didn't have time. You don't know.
He didn't have time to worry about bastards. He doesn't know yet. It will be months. He's just gonna have to wish and hope. She's a professional, Kim Ji-woon. The answer is you're fine.
Yeah, he was like just getting done when Lo Fong's like, "We gotta go." Not a whole lot of time to think about what's going on after.
It was like half puff into like, wait a minute, should I be like, who smokes a cigarette right now? And then Lo Fong's like, hey,
ain't got no time for that.
All right,
Not
cool.
who's
'Cause
supposed to figure it out.
I was just wondering because you know, you gave me such a hard time for being a horny bitch before, so I
how
had to.
How many months has it been?
Since Chime, like the night before I met all of you.
Since the Southern Water Tribe.
Huh? Since the Southern Water Tribe? Since the Southern Water Tribe, oh, it's been, what was I? I'm 21 now. It was like about a year and a half.
Have you even sent a letter?
Have I even sent a letter?
He said, did you send a thank you note?
If I sent a letter to every person that could get pregnant because we had sex,
There's not enough paper.
there's not enough paper. There's a lot of trees in this world.
I'm about to invent the condom right now.
It seems awfully
so everyone
irresponsible.
knows.
As you said.
But I like kids.
Are you taking care of yours?
If
Ooh.
they know where I live, they can tell me in case it happens. I checked my mail. I didn't get any notifications.
I'm fine.
It's our responsibility to check.
Sure. I will check after the genocide, I promise.
Kim narrows his eyes, then like shifts over to his bag, ticks around a little bit, and then just like pulls out like an empty notebook and a pen, just like.
It's just
You can't be serious.
You want me to write a letter to everyone?
Of course, I'm not serious. I'm Kim Ji-woon.
You're cute. It's like it's not light out right now. I'll get it later. Listen, I'm just jealous because I've been blue balling. Leave me alone, okay? Like, I've had to be a responsible adult for a month now, and you know how hard that is? Like, I have had to, like, I did the straightest thing I've ever done, like, 2 weeks ago. And that was kill a guy. And then I almost did it again today. So I'm just
Thanks for
saying.
not.
It would. He's yours. So unless he's doing something to hurt you, I wouldn't do that to him.
Still thank you
You're welcome.
to all of you for not killing him.
I also like to thank my friends for not killing my grandparents. To be fair, my grandparents are dead, and but
You gotta admit,
But
man,
your
it's
friends didn't kill them, and that's the important part.
they didn't.
Can,
That
Can-
is
but
that
Mom,
is the
can I at
important
least
part.
brag about the fact that I'm the one that did that to his face?
why'd you do that?
He had us tied up and kidnapped.
Yeah. It's when we were in the Earth Kingdom.
Why didn't you do the whole thing?
I was tied up, and I only had so much stomach acid in my own stomach.
Why do you like this?
So when you're not when you don't have the capabilities to be professionally trained as a waterbender, or even in your own classification of plant bending, you just sort of make shit up as you go.
The word you're looking for is improvise.
I like the making shit up as you go part though. But thank you, hon. You just I just make shit up as I go, and I use my imagination in most scenarios. I had to do it to get myself to move my body again. But yeah,
I need to get you a waterbending school. This can't continue.
What can't continue?
Stomach acid, excrement. It's
Excrement.
horrible.
It's how I know how many bastards I have.
Kim Ji Woon, when life or
Don't
death
know.
situations, you use what you have.
And sometimes you have produce, and sometimes you have your own body. Sometimes you have the bodies of others. We're all really
We're low
high-strung.
fong awake. He would chip in, and sometimes you have your target's family members.
I imagine he still says that like in his sleep. Like,
He sounds kind of like he's like reciting from like a lesson.
yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't creepy, like at all. We are all really, really strung up, and I'm sorry. Had we
I
not
can't
been
get-
jumped, I would be. I'm happy for you, Kim Ji Woon, that you finally understand carnal pleasure.
Fucking good, right? So
I didn't do it for you.
I didn't say you did. You would have had more fun if you did. Uh,
So, as you guys are sitting there bickering and kind of back and forthing, slowly, relaxing as much as you can, the camaraderie of bitching and moaning,
mhm.
uh, the sister kind of scoots a little bit closer to you, Kayam, and it occurs to y'all that just you've really gotten very comfortable with her. Now, maybe it's because she's been around so quietly, or y'all know, but like, y'all been speaking very freely, and she just looks you up and looks you down and goes, I, it's a shame we, it's a shame we never had a chance to meet you before all of this. There used to be, you're not the only person, at least you weren't the only person who can do this. There used to be, so it wasn't a lot of scrolls, but there was such information I would have loved to show you.
Well, I did pick up a couple on my way out of town, and I've got ideas.
And she looks at you curiously when you said that you've picked up a couple things. And on that note, with us just kind of soaring around in the night sky, talking quietly to each other, Lo Fong sleeping behind the wheel. Thank God the truck drives itself. Why don't we go ahead and go to break? Because I don't know about y'all, but I have to pee.
I also
Yep.
have to pee. Alright, y'all, we'll
We'll
see you
be
in about 10 to
back.
15 minutes. See you soon. Rare. And it's the correct splash this time.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, my mic is hot.
Hi.
We're all hot right now. We're all so hot. We were also talking about Popeyes literally right before and thinking about Popeyes. So, for all of you out there who have a Popeyes available to you, please get some Popeyes right now if you are
You deserve it.
of the fried chicken or fried shrimp eaters, because I know they got them fried shrimp po' boys down there right now.
And Popeyes, if you're watching, sponsor us, please.
Oh,
Thank you.
Sponsor us.
absolutely! Please, Popeyes.
Like at this point, we will. Money is nice, but we will do it for chicken. We will just sit here and eat
Yeah.
chicken, holding the Popeyes box, and be like,
with the biscuits, like.
And like instead of going to break, we'll just eat chicken for 10 minutes into the camera.
We're like,
Oh,
look at that
us.
crunch. Anyway.
Anyways, so now that we're all hungry,
Mm-hmm.
let's go back to the story, shall we? So it's been a quiet kind of hour as you continue to sail through the air. There was a brief moment where Sister Aizen popped out her glider and kind of did a quick circle, kind of skimmed down towards the water, just check things out, stretching her arms, stretching her wings, so to speak. And just kind of, when she comes back, she's got a little bit of ocean spray on her face. It's kind of clinging to her eyelashes. It's just stretches for a moment, slumps down, and goes, I've missed that so much. And then she just shakes it off and kind of leans down, hunkers into a comfortable position. She has folded herself up in the way that people who have a lot of time and bendiness can do. She's just got joints twisted. She's all pretzeled up. She seems comfortable as hell. Feet touching in weird angles. She just kind of sits there and goes, so I know it wasn't in your plans for all of you to be escorting me this far in, and I really do appreciate it.
Didn't even
It's
want to come this far. It's no offense.
She goes, no, I don't think if I was not so sure that she was alive, I don't think I'd ever want to see these mountains again either.
If who is alive?
But she's got to be alive. Sozin, he wouldn't kill his sister. Not even Sozin would do that. She is very clearly trying to convince herself more than y'all.
Mm-hmm. And like,
And because I think like obviously I've been to the Fire Nation more recent than she has. Like has she been seen in public?
Yes, Firelord Sozin he's an older man at this time, because remember he
he's
was
in his
in
hundreds.
he was
Yeah.
in his 80s
Mm-hmm.
um 12 years ago when Avatar Roku died.
Yeah.
He is at the end of his life, but he is remarkably strong for all of that. Um, when he does start to go, it will be a very quick decline. But at the moment, he's still remarkably strong for his age. Um, and he is seen in public quite often.
Oh, I mean her
Oh,
sister.
his sister?
Yeah.
His sister is, yes, she remained a public figure, um, because it was safest for her that way. As long
Mm-hmm.
as everybody was constantly seeing her, then it would be real weird if all of a sudden they didn't. It was the best way for her to stay safe from her brother was to be constantly public. So you absolutely are familiar with Princess.
But she
She
hasn't been seen. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, then yeah, Kim will speak up, and that's she's been seen in public recently.
Um, so I mean, that's good news. Bad news is that recently for you, like you
Uh,
haven't been back to the Fire Nation. Nobody's been back to the Fire Nation since the genocide. You know that she was moving very publicly before all that. But nobody nobody's seen her since. I misunderstood the question you were asking. No one has
Mm-hmm.
seen her
oh.
since
Well, no, that would still
the
be like
summit.
the answer you gave me would still be correct. It'd still be like what Kim would say. Like he would let like he would kind of let the implicit like but since though like he would just kind of let that hang.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, and Sister Aizen just kind of she scrubs her hands over her face. Now, it occurs that some of y'all maybe have not started putting this together. Maybe this is really the first time that y'all have started doing the math. But this air nun is older than the princess. The
Mm-hmm.
princess is Sozin's little sister, but the princess is still in her 80s.
Yeah.
This woman you're traveling with, as you're doing the math, you realize she has to be at least 90 years old. She does not look 90 years old. She looks very much like a healthy early 50s. Um, and it occurs to y'all that you're like, wait a minute,
Math meme.
math meme
Yeah.
insert here. Uh,
Like, and at the same time, though, it's not that unheard of when you think about, like, in the Avatar world. Like, so many people lived to their hundreds, like, easily.
hmm it's not unheard of,
Mm-hmm.
but it is not common.
Yeah.
It is something that only those with the very highest masteries and a very specific kind of mental ability can do.
Mm-hmm.
That said, it's not specific to any one type of bender either.
Yeah, because let's not talk about what earthbenders can fucking do to themselves. Like,
Uh,
I
Look, we
discovered
like to
that a
be
couple
cute.
weeks ago. Like,
Yeah,
I was
we
like,
just like being cute for a long time.
yeah,
We like it when our titties be tittying for like 170 years, just right
let's just
here.
fucking bend the iron in our blood to continue to regenerate. What the fuck, earthbenders? Like,
Listen. How you think Boomy kept that six pack? You think he didn't? You think that didn't take work?
I
Exactly.
know. I listen. Now that I know, like, I look at King Boomy and I was like, okay, makes complete fucking sense. Like,
It's just a thing we do. Don't worry about it. Like I said, we
yeah,
like to stay cute.
I stay
Um,
cute. Yeah.
and so it is a variant of that. Um, it's very much a matter of knowing your body. It's a skill that Kayam could learn.
Mm-hmm.
Not now. He's not old enough. It takes a specific amount of age for your brain to be ready to do that.
Yeah.
But one day, if Kayam lives to be an older man,
I don't think so. This man's not
um,
gonna live that much longer. I can tell you that. But
but if
Listen.
Kayam lived long enough to gain the experience, Kayam would also be able to learn the knowledge of his cells, his body, to a degree where he could every day wake up and put them back in the arrangement they were yesterday,
mm-hmm.
and essentially halt your aging for as long as you continue to do that. It is a skill that she has learned as well. She knows a different variant of it.
Yep.
Every bender does it a little bit differently. Firebenders respark the chi inside them. Earthbenders move the iron in their blood around. Uh, Everybody essentially finds a different way to put their cells back exactly how they were yesterday. Exactly how they were yesterday for decades, sometimes centuries.
They just like get to the point and they're like, "This is me at my prime," and they're like, "And I want to wake up every day looking like this," and they make
Hmm.
that decision. And the thing is that they don't learn that until like they're in their 50s. But you know what? 50s, not a bad place to be for some people.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that was about the time she learned this. So she's been sitting in her 50s for the last like
40
damn near
years.
50
40
for the last
years.
40 or
Yeah.
more. She's been 50 almost as long as she's been 50.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she's just the moonlight is hitting her face. Uh, she is wan and haunted, and she just kind of goes, we were there. We were all in the temple together, me and her husband. And we had gathered to watch the comet because even though she doesn't bend, she's a firebender, she feels it in her blood, the same as all of her other people. And we had gone to the roof so that she would be closer to the comet. And we were there to see her brother's armies march on our gates. And Sozin himself stood at the head of his army. And we were so far up and he was so far down. And surely they didn't they saw each other, but they didn't lock eyes, but they did. She looked at her brother and he looked at her. And then they breached the temple. And I lost her somewhere in the smoke and the haze and the fire and the death. And no one, no one would dare risk their life. I don't care that Sozin was there to commit 1,000 murders. No one would risk their life and his displeasure to kill his sister. And even he couldn't have done that himself. She has to be alive somewhere. I just have to find her.
I think she's alive. If he really wanted to continue trying to convince everyone that the Air Nation army, and it's said in a way where really it's, Air Nation army is bullshit, he could play up her death that the army killed her. I think you're right.
Even
Policies.
more so, he could have played it up that you did it.
She
We
Policies.
haven't
is,
heard anything.
that has never crossed her mind. It has literally, of all the terrible things that have crossed her mind, and there have been thousands, she lies awake at night and there is just a stream of horror constantly playing in the back of her eyelids. And for everything she saw, she sees her love in the spaces of these dead and these dying. And none of those thoughts were as horrible as the thought that she might be framed for killing someone she has been in love with for like 60 years. She just, she is stunned, silent, traumatized. Y'all broke the nun for shame.
Hey, I tried to give her some hope that she's probably alive. Kayam
Time
broke
to,
her.
I also gave her hope just to point out, like, he could have said so many awful things, but the thing is, there's been, like, no news.
Yeah.
And no news is good news.
you know what? I'm gonna. No, you shook her. Let's see if she hears you. I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask you to roll a guide and comfort. Please roll with harmony.
With Harmony, let's go. Just checking to see if I got any moves or anything with that. Um,
Can I argue a +1 to Kayam's roll since we both tried to help her?
You sure can.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Get an extra +1.
Nice. I was gonna see if Straight Shooter would have worked on that and had me roll with focus, but I'll get the +1. With my water bending dice. That's not water bending. This is, but this is. What is that? What is that? What nation is that?
From here. Don't know off the top of my head.
I think
Sorry.
it might be Earth.
I don't know, because that's water. This is the
Yeah,
tech.
no,
This
that's
is,
tech, I think.
that's tech. Yeah. Where's my other blue? There it is. Waterbenders.
Let's go.
These dice are phenomenal, by the way. If you didn't get the
Don't they
Kickstarter
feel
dice,
good?
if you did not get the Kickstarter dice, I feel so bad for you. Okay, it is a mixed success with a 7.
Okay.
I rolled 2 3s. With that +1, makes a 7.
All right. So she on a mixed success, you know what? She just, why don't you tell me either, nah, I'm not going to have you shift her balance. So I'm just going to tell you, she vaguely hears you. She clings to it the little bit that she hears, which is no. She's a little bit disassociated. You probably could have gotten something useful out of her, but now whatever thought she was about to share has just kind of left her brain.
Fair.
It might come back around. It might be sparked again by more conversation, but whatever she was about to say before you were a little too helpful has just kind of left her, and she's just kind of sitting there breathing, going,
Kayam kind of visibly cringes because he realized he messed up on that one. Anyway, subject change. Man, I already picked on Kim Ji-woo for not being a virgin anymore.
I need to make time to visit my family. Probably. This is the window for getting them out of here is closing.
Yeah. We should also, come up with some sincere disguises. Maybe when we get there, get into some Firebender garb, Fire Nation garb, kind of motion. Maybe get some beet juice up in here at my hair.
Arnica.
yes.
Questions. First question is, where are we dropping her off again? Where in the Fire Nation?
So once you guys, you're not sure. What a great question. It occurs to y'all that you were just gonna drop her off. Y'all were just gonna drop her off at the first safe place you could find and be like, "Good luck, lady." But I don't know. That might change. I guess it depends on what you find when you land.
Okay.
Did you have a second question?
No, I think I'm gonna hold off on that second question.
Okay.
So yeah. Since we don't know where we're going, I don't have the reason to ask the second one.
Well, I was going to stay as that's I originally planned. My family has to go, but we're certainly not going to be able to keep all the money or all of the property. So in there, pick up whatever can be picked up. Have everybody take what could be taken. Probably don't stay around to see to it that ships are chartered out. My father and mother can handle that much, along with between them and the servants. And in that time, we should have at least enough resources that we could start canvassing. Probably the remote palaces first. He either has her close to hand or well hidden on the periphery.
So your plan is, like, Kai, I'm saying this out loud to you, Kim Jong, if you were saying your plans out loud.
Yeah.
So your plan is to help the good sister here in saving the princess. That is your long-term goal.
That's like you can tell as far as Kim is concerned, like that's it. Like yeah, he fully intended to stick this all like more or less all the way out because he said he was going to do it.
It's too late for me to turn back. But I can help everybody with Fire Nation disguises. Common folk Fire Nation disguises.
I'm at this point right now where I either move forward or I go into hiding, and going into hiding would be incredibly easy for me. This past month, we have seen a lot. So Kim Ji-woon, I would like to assist you in rescuing the princess.
All right.
If I can.
It makes things easier.
But I also, and I know like Lo Fong is kind of hanging out, I've also kind of had some interesting ideas.
Stay away from my mother.
You know what? I'm not into family affairs unless you're interested.
She's not a very pleasant person, so I would also advise staying away from his mother.
I didn't plan on it, but that wasn't what my plan was. I was trying to bring in our buddy over there, and getting my scrolls. So, whenever I get the chance to, in quiet times, I want to study as much as I can about the human body. And since Sister Zaya was the first time that I realized that I could really go into the bios of other people, not just myself. And I've always been afraid to go into that because I'm always afraid of the pain that could cause people, because surgery is painful. And I would do a much better job seeing internal injuries and fixing them than just sensing them. But getting to those things would be painful, and I don't want to be in a position again, if I can help it, to where... But after losing the feeling in my arms, and I look at Lo Fong, and I kind of look at the two of you as well, I think we can use a combination of chi blocking and I don't even know what to call it. Body bending, muscle bending, tissue. To perform fast, life-saving surgeries and medical procedures on the field. And I think that if there's going to be a war, that can be useful. And I would like, during our downtime, for y'all to help me with that. Because the wound has to be cauterized after you fix it, right?
So you're asking us to practice on us?
I'm going to practice on myself. And I might need a firebender to help me out. And a chi blocker to make sure no one feels anything. And a firebender to make sure that things stay closed. We could also practice on turtle ducks, you know? But it's...
I would like you not to harm yourself in order to do this.
Why didn't you think of the turtle ducks first?
Have you seen how cute turtle ducks are? I don't...
I've seen. We know how big your ego is. Try again.
I really do love turtle. I had turtle ducks stuck in my house. Did you not see? Anyway,
Sister Ryzen is large-eyed. She has hyper focused on this. Oh, somebody wants to do something good that she can focus on as opposed to something horrible. She kind of scrambles over to you. She takes your hand in hers. Her eyes are overly bright. It is the eyes of a zealot, and you kind of see why she is one of the nuns who was part of the Guiding Winds movement. They were nice, peaceful zealots, but a zealot's a zealot nonetheless.
Yeah.
And you do see that light in her eyes as her brain goes, oh, thank goodness, something to realign myself to, a movement, a moment. And she goes, I don't know how many survived, but if you can help me find Saizen, if you can help me find my love, I will take you to whatever remains of the northern temples, and we will go through the library with a fine-tooth comb. We will find you every scroll we have on bending and healing. We can. What a lovely thought. Did you say Zaya?
I squeeze her hand. Did you know, Sister Zaya?
Oh, I knew Zaya when she was a very young girl. She only came to our temple once, but she was there studying for 6 months. She liked to talk a lot about how much she missed her sister, and they wrote quite often. She was a good girl.
She's the reason we were able to escape time with the children when we did. And I was the last person to hold her before she was gone.
There are tears streaming down her face. She goes, I am your destiny. It's hard. It must be hard for the four of you. that your destiny is so tightly interwoven with the terrible tragedy of my people. But oh, the luck of our children and of Zaya and of me, that our destinies should be so entwined with people who are so brave and kind.
Fuck, fellas, I didn't realize we were dealing with destiny shit, but I guess we are.
Oh no, doesn't doesn't much feel like destiny.
Doesn't feel
Just
much like bravery.
shit. I don't understand how. I don't understand what else there was to do. Simple, straightforward.
And she pats your face, and it's not condescending. It is very much a, you are the sweetest boy, in a very genuine way, as she
She's
cups your
patting
chin and
Kim
she
Ji
goes,
Woon. She's patting, or
yeah,
me?
Kim Ji Woon.
Okay.
She pats Kim Ji Woon as he says that, and she goes, the fact that you think it is easy, and you think it's not brave to do the right thing. You are such a good boy, Kim Ji Woon.
19.
She laughs. She goes, I am 92. You are a very good boy, Kim Ji Woo.
92, huh?
She gives you a wink. It's watery and it's a little, but she's y'all have given her a breath, something to y'all have given her hope, something to kind of latch to, and it's enough. God damn it. Obi's fired. Everyone, we're continuing without Obi.
You mean Casey, or
Bye.
That's
that's
Casey in there.
Casey down there?
Everybody's fired. Everybody's
That's
fired. Well, no, I'm sorry. I had to stop in the middle of my sentence. We're all fired. Show's over.
Okay.
But yeah,
We
no.
got
So
48 minutes left. Let's go.
and she
30
takes you got this. She catches her breath. She's got enough that she can joke around. She can take that moment. At least for now, she can kind of push the horror to a small back corner so that she can continue going. Um, there is a hint of sunrise behind you. Not a lot. It's still more black than purple to the sky, but y'all are high enough that you can see the very edge of the bottom of the horizon starting to change colors behind you. And ahead of you, you can see the small, dark shapes of the scattering of chain, those little islands, just big enough to hold, a couple dozen huts here, a small temple there. None of them are big enough for a city, none of them are big enough for a town. But every single chain on the Fire Nation islands are at least somewhat occupied. There's not enough space for them to be picky. Um, and you see that the old man is heading towards one of the larger small islands. There is a temple. It's a Fire Nation temple. It's all decked up in the traditional Fire Nation colors. The architecture is exactly what you expect with the tilts to the roofs, and what you don't expect is that it has suffered enormous fire damage.
Oof.
Um, it Do you know how hard it is to burn a firebender's building? Do you know how hard it is to burn a fire sage's temple?
Yeah.
Like one would, not be incorrect in suggesting that it would take a whole bunch of significantly strong firebenders, like a battalion, to burn down a temple. So you can see that the stables that the old man was heading towards, they are burnt. There is, it's been long enough, but you can still smell as the sea breeze whips it up towards you, the scent of char from those, and there are no lights anywhere on that side. However, because y'all are far enough up, and because you are coming from the far side, you can see just the slightest hint of firelight from the way other side of the island, just as far as you can get away from the temple. It's mostly rocky. It's very sheer over there. It's more cliff than valley. But there are hints that there might be life in that direction. What do y'all want to do?
I
Are we
feel
high enough that we can see if there are any Navy ships docked here?
There are not. There are no Navy ships docked here. There's no boats of any kind. The docks themselves have been burned.
That I don't think that's an encampment of soldiers left to look for survivors or watch for incoming. There's nowhere no one for them to contact, no ship for them to flee to.
There's no resources here either. They have no reason to stop here.
Yeah. Survivors. Straight there or further out?
I think old man needs to rest.
yeah,
Does
we've been flying for a while.
he is grumbling. He is loudly upset because he knew where he was going. He's looking at the spot that's supposed to have food and a bed, and it's burnt up like so many of the other spots. Half of his spots that he used to know, that he went to, that he's been with y'all, half of his spots are fucking burned up.
Yeah, what the hell? Back in his day, people took
The
care of
hell?
this shit.
Yeah.
Yes. Like he's tired, he's hungry, he's distressed. And you can hear him grumbling and kind of
Poor old man.
as he veers you guys towards the cliffs. He needs to rest regardless.
Yeah.
Is he stopping near the burned temple?
No, he in fact, because as soon as the burn smell started coming up heavy on the wind, that's when he started turning towards the cliffs. That's why you guys were able to see those
Okay.
few little sparks in the dark.
Yeah. I'd tell him to land a little ways away from the fire, just in case.
Um, so Sister Aizen lets you guys get close enough to the cliffs, and she goes, I'll be back. Before anyone can say anything, she just drops herself backwards off the saddle, pops open her glider, and does a very smooth spiral through the darkness. Because the sun is coming up so slowly, and because she is in the shadow of the cliffs, no one can see her. It's only because y'all know to track that you're just barely catching glimpses of her outline against the moonlit waves. She circles, she goes past the caves, little cracks and crevices dug into the cliff, circles back around, and lands pretty neatly on the old man's saddle as he starts lowering towards where Lo Fong has directed him. She goes, it's a, there aren't many survivors. I think this is all that remains of the sages um, who worked with us. There was one particular branch of the fire sages that was pretty closely united with the guiding winds. Um, in fact, this is for people who were not ready, for fire nobility who were not ready to go all in with the guiding winds, you know, ooh, we are renouncing our money. They're like, no, no, no. We like the rest of that, but we also like our money. So this is the branch of fire sages that like their youngest and their middle children would go to. People who provide support, material support.
Yeah,
This is a place to be, this is a thing to do.
yeah, what if I could be associated and you could tell me I was doing well and you could give me clothing and even some training, but all that stuff I don't like. I didn't have to do that. So
Exactly. And yeah, they get away with it because they have, it's not a big island, but it's a whole island. It was definitely spots where, and it was grassy enough that they donated the space. They helped raise air bison in the Fire Nation. And everyone's like, okay, you know what? Money is filthy, but your money is keeping the bison fed. So we're going to pretend like you ain't got a whole bunch of it. This was that particular branch. And when they attacked the Guiding Winds, when they attacked the Air Fire community centers, when they attacked the Air Nation, they attacked this branch of their own fire sages as well.
Hmm.
They moved to wipe them out, but they probably should have rented some dudes from Bossing Say. They should have called up Isan and rented some Dollar Tree Lofongs because they did not do a very good job. Um, Now, it could be that just their people were uncomfortable with bringing the same kind of violence on their sages that they, in ways that they weren't uncomfortable attacking the air nomads. Maybe they just kind of pretended not to see some of them escaping, but there's at least 30 people in a small camp. They're cold, they're not used to roughing it, they're not doing well, but they've survived over the past couple months. But no one can come in to help them. No one dares. They do not dare cross the water to this island because while you do not see any Fire Navy ships, there are not any right now. What you will see later in the day is that they do circle by. They do like a slow drive by of the island from a distance, like once a day, to make sure that no one's trying to come in or off. They're allowed to survive, but they're going to pay the price for daring to think differently that air nomads were fine.
no, really, it's just we're not going to execute you, but that's it.
Hmm.
They're under house arrest without the house part.
Yeah. So this is the scene that you land towards. There are roughly 30 fire sages. Most of them are older. There are a couple younger ones, one or two middle-aged survivors, but mostly it's just elderly people and like young kids who had not taken their sage vows or whatever the fuck you do when you become a fire sage. I don't know. They're novices. That's the word I was reaching and struggling for.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly novices and old people and a couple snuffly little baby noises coming from the brush that are very familiar to y'all as the sound of young bison. They are, in fact, even younger than the boos were.
Mm.
Just
The
a handful of them.
booze.
The boos.
The
There's just a
booze.
handful of them, maybe five or six, and they are quite young. They are the only air bison remaining on the island.
What is Susan thinking?
Selfishly.
Don't
I'm
think there's much
selfish.
not much to be done for him, but especially not with that ship. Can't something. Very least contact people who aren't here to kill him. Something. Can't just leave him alone. I don't think I'm in any danger. If you don't want to follow, I probably won't be gone that long.
Just nods.
Does anyone want to go with Kim Ji Woon?
I don't think I'd go with Kim Ji Woon, but when we like land and like start to unpack, like I begin to like walk down the tail of the old man and just kind of like stop like right at the end, right before the ground, and just kind of like stand there for a bit, just staring at it. But I haven't, but I don't go with Kim.
So Wong stands there looking at ground to his mother nation, not setting foot on it though. Trying to decide how I feel about this. Meanwhile, Kim Ji Woon has gathered together a fairly decent amount of y'all supplies. Because to be fair, y'all can move and y'all got
Mm-hmm.
money. You are right near the Fire Nation. It might take a minute to replace it, but you can replace it. So Kim Ji Woon is not even asking, just steady eye contact, dare you to say something, just packing up as much food as he can get together. Um, and Sister Ryzan does follow you. She picks up about half of what you gather up, uh, and the two of you together walk off the old man and towards where you saw the very last little bit of fire. Um, there is a rustling in the undergrowth, and just two of these baby bison. They are just barely weaned. Like you could tell that they probably had to like feed them real thick oat water and shit for at least a week. They were probably not weaned when the Fire Nation attacked, but they've got them on soft food now. They are small. They don't even have horns. They just got like little nubs. They
Huh.
ain't nothing but giant heads and fat tails and little nubs. They're just so puffy. And they come tumbling out. They are making a beeline for the old man. They thump right past you two.
Oh yeah.
Um, and they just immediately get right up under the edge of his tail. They're hiding. They're making little, I don't know what kind of baby noises they make, but they're cute ones. They're sad ones because they're also distressed. It's a,
Yeah.
oh my God, my first adult, my first adult. I don't remember adults anymore. But they're right up under him. They're making little, please don't. I'm here. I love you noises. Uh, as Kim Ji Woon and the nun walk further into the woods.
I'm gonna put my hand on Wong's back, just supportively, seeing how he's hesitant. If you don't want to touch down yet, I can always give you a piggyback ride.
I don't think you can carry me, no offense.
No, but he can. And I look over at Wong, Lo Fong. I like point to him.
It's just I haven't been here in 2, 3 years.
Not exactly the homecoming you expected either, huh?
I didn't expect to come home.
Exactly.
I don't know.
But you're not
I guess I'm
doing.
just. Hmm?
I said, but you're not doing this by yourself.
I'm just along for the ride until I can get out.
Kind of.
How far are we from the temple?
So By foot, you guys are a couple hours walk because it's really, really steep mountainous terrain here. And you just got to go up and down and around it. It's a pain in the ass. If you're on the old man, you're about 15 minutes away from the temple.
Because Lo Fong's already thinking, all right, if they were in the temple when they were attacked, there might be some clues there as to where the princess could have been taken or how she could have been taken.
And were Kim Ji Woon and the sister going in that direction?
No, they are heading further towards the cliff where the survivors are camped.
Okay.
Following like Lo Fong's gaze in the direction that we came from. We can always go check it out later.
Yeah. I suppose we should go with them.
Plus, I think the old man could use some baby time.
Oh yes, he needs to rest, and Lo Fong kind of like scratches behind one of his ears.
He makes a deep lowing sound and kind of shuffles. He's not shaking y'all off because he's a polite old man, but also he's letting you know that indeed it's definitely time for y'all to get the fuck off his back and get the saddle off him.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to curl up around those babies and he can't curl properly with the saddle on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So Lo Fong just hops off and starts the process. So
Yeah. There is a resigned sigh from Long, and I take that final step from the tail to the ground and like walk around to the other side to help Lo Fong with the saddle.
So by the time y'all get him unsaddled and catch up with Kim Ji Woon and Sister Aizen, they are right at the edge of this, refugee camp. They find themselves, you guys are staring at tired, shocked people. Um, they are all the survivors you met. You either met immediately in the aftermath where they were shaken and dealing with the immediate shock, or you've met where they were able to get away and someone has been helping them. They've had food, they've had access to, someone to talk to. The people you're looking at haven't had any of that. Everything that's happened is still happening to them. This is not a thing that did happen to them. It is a thing that continues to happen. They still do not have access to their home. They don't have access to the amount of clean water they had before. They don't have access to the kind of food they had before. They are being kept in this position by the fact that the Fire Nation Navy keeps circling to make sure that they don't try to go back to their ruined home to rebuild. So they're hungry and they're skittish. It is only the fact that the remaining air bison calves have all immediately they've recognized Sister Ryzen's scent. Um, well, they recognize the scent of an airbender anyway. They may not
yeah,
know her specifically, but they know.
they know when they
Uh,
see one.
and you all smell like the old man. So they have come rushing out of hiding. They're just skimming the ground. They're just barely big enough to fly, and they can't fly particularly high. The bravest one is almost as high as Kayam's hip. The rest of them are seriously just inches above the grass as they circle around y'all, thumping into you. They're whining, they're excited. Uh, Kayam, one of them smells your fruit, a fat one, an extra fat one. He's so round. He's as round as he can be. He
So
used to
he's
be
the one.
rounder.
Yeah, he's the one that gets the most food. Um, You know what? I got melons. I'm gonna give some melons to these babies. I'm not mad at it. They can't have the onions or the peppers though, or the beans. They can have some melons.
Um, and one of the oldest, one of the oldest fire sages, he sits there. He is he is obviously still in pain. He was injured terribly during the attack.
Hmm.
And while it has healed, it's healed without medical assistance. It's healed without access to a healer. He is in pain, but he smiles up at all of you and he goes, "We are we are well met. Flamio, good Hotman. You know, he's trying. Bless his heart. Pop Pop is cool. He gives you a smile and he gives you a flamio. Like he tries. He coughs into his hand. He goes, "You can't, you can't let the Navy catch you here. You're gonna have to hide whatever boat you came in on."
Not a boat.
Right. Kayam, as you flip back your hood, Sister Aizen does the same. And she, like we said, she's been trying to let her hair grow out, but it takes a minute, and there's still the faintest edge right at the peak where the tip of her arrow continues to show. And the old man bursts into tears. Um, it's a halting, sore movement as he slowly goes down onto one knee and takes her hand and presses it to his forehead and goes, "You, if you have survived, if any of your people have survived, then there is still hope in the world. You're okay." And she grabs him, and you realize that this old man is probably not as old as he looks. It's probably the stress and the illness and the trauma that has made him look older. Um, because she smiles down at him with the way that you smile down at someone you knew when they were a child and you're so proud of the adult
Hmm.
they've become. And she goes, "Oh, we, there are, I'm not the only survivor. Um, Sozin Sozin did what he could, but he can't really get rid of all of us as long as there's one of us and as long as there is hope. Sozin has failed. We don't have a boat. Um, but we have food for you, and we have a most capable healer. Um,
Just like, oh, do we? I can
oh, she believes in
try.
you. Oh, she believes in you.
Oh god, he brings out the scrolls.
Like yeah, Kim's eyes like slide slightly to the side, like. Mm.
And she
Yeah.
goes, and we have hope. We will we will see a better day. The sun is going to set on Sozin's horror. I promise. And with that, why don't we go ahead and you know what it is? It is 8:49
It is.
with her promising that the sun will set on Sozin's horror, with Wong, his feet still telling him, I'm home, and his heart going, Am I? Am I? Kim Ji Woon, with your thoughts full of your family and how you've got to save them, not just from the Fire Nation, but perhaps from themselves if they want to fight with you. Lo Fong, with you thinking about the fact that you never really had a home, at least that's what you thought, until you realized that now you are the one who can't go back.
Yeah.
And Kayam, with you knowing that anytime you wanted to, you could leave. You have a spot they'll never find you, and you choosing to stay with all of you in that moment, the sun rising behind you, grateful people in front of you, and hope in the distance. We're going to go ahead and wrap up season 2. Yay!
My emotions.
Oh,
Gonna be fun.
it's fine.
Um,
If I didn't do it now, I was going to go for another hour and just make up stuff and be like, it never ends.
that's fair. Do we want to do? Cause okay, so everyone, this was season 2. We are coming back for season 3 or a book 3, and most likely a book 4, and it's gonna be in August. So I think with that, we will not do our like level ups this time around, and we'll do our outros instead, just to get through all of that, because we'll have a lot of decompression on our end to go through. I actually have that pressure behind my eyes that makes me want to cry, but I don't have waterproof mascara on here, so I avoided it. But I was close. I was close today. I'm not gonna lie, it's there. Um, anyway, thanks everyone for coming and showing up. It was a joy to play this game with this group again, and I can't wait to be back with everyone. As far as the channel and what's going on, just because this is ending doesn't mean for the winter, doesn't mean that other things aren't ending. Tomorrow we still have 6 episodes. There's 6 weeks left of our Mass Effect game that my friend Emma runs, called our favorite game at the Citadel, which you're not going to see my face for. I just sit here and produce it and let people have a good time, which I love doing. That's why I say I produce TTRPGs for me and my friends. Sometimes the me is not in there. And then we only have 3 episodes left of the first season of our Old Gods of Appalachia game. And then that's sort of it. I think that I have a couple other things in the pipeline. I'm starting to plan for the summer about like what we're doing in the summer. One of them I'll 100% talk about. You will definitely see me and most likely Arnica back in the summer because Animorphs is coming back like
Nice.
this summer.
Animorphs!
Hell yeah.
Speaking of war traumas and colonization and all that bullshit, let me tell you, I'm about to get back on my bullshit in the saddle. That's definitely one thing I will say. So if you want to see some of us again for that, we'll be back for that. But that's in the works, and we started to plan what we're gonna do in the summer for that. So keep an eye out for that. The best place to keep an eye out for that, because I will be casting for something in the summer as well that will be D&D based. It'll be 5e, but it will be a supplement that my friend Jamie and I have been working on for years now when we're in the editing process, where we have a bunch of classes and subclasses, and we will be doing a limited series to showcase those classes and subclasses that he mostly has been working on and designing, and we're going to be doing that over the summer, probably in July, and I'll be casting for that. Haven't even set up a DM for that yet, but we'll see how that goes. That's in the plans. If you're in my Discord, you get first dibs on applications, so do that. But that's me. Everybody else, in the order of which we did this, where can we find you on the internet, and what you doing? I don't know who was before me last time. Arnica doesn't do it in order.
I think it's me.
Okay.
Well, let's see. You can find me on Wednesday afternoon and Sunday evening on Atreides stream with Blood on the Clock Tower. I stream Blood on the Clock Tower, Baldur's Gate 3 co-op campaign. I'm doing a playthrough of the Yakuza series, and I just finished Yakuza 0 yesterday. And I'm actually in probably early June, after it's released, I'm gonna be running a Vecna Eve of Ruin campaign on my channel of that D&D 5th Ed campaign that will be coming out. So that will be very fun.
Yeah, let me know
Um,
if you need some overlays made.
yeah. I might be hitting you up for that.
Cool.
Hmm. But and then other than that, I'm actually recording another video with Postmodern Jukebox on Tuesday. So
Yeah.
don't know when the one I did in December is coming out. Who the hell knows? But we'll see. So that's me.
Bye, Monty. Love you. Thank you, Casey. All right, Aunt Obi.
Yeah, I have been Kim Ji Woon. One fine day in August, I will see you all here again. But in the meantime, do not fret, do not be afraid, because you can find me elsewhere on the internet, at on Twitter, on Blue Sky, at Jossadison. That's JOSADISON. Or perhaps even on Twitch at twitch.tv/Shinalby. But of course, there is always the morrow, where I'll be here, playing the Amant Pockets, the most reliable, ever so trustworthy, uh, and problem drama free Drell, and on the Shepard's favorite game at the Citadel.
Thank you so much. And Mare.
Hey, that's me. Can I just also say super quick? I feel like while everyone else is giving out food, like Wong is teaching people like life skills that you would learn while camping.
Yes.
Here's how to set a snare. Here's how to like actually start a real fire, like not with firebending, obviously,
Y'all,
just in
y'all gotta,
case.
y'all gotta live here though. Y'all gotta live here though.
But like
Oh
teaching
Lord,
them,
the part of Wong that loves the babies has pulled the novice aside and is like, "Come here, let me show you how to do this."
yeah. Here's how you gut a fish. Anyway, hi, I'm Mary. You can find me on all applicable social media at Archmage of Dice. Uh, this was only one of two campaigns that I was doing, so right now, you can only find me over on Sorting Key at 6 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays, playing your amazing Soul Knife Rogue Star Druid Centaur Acacia in Horizon's Call. I don't know if we're playing tomorrow yet, but we'll definitely be there next week.
Every time you say that, that's just so much sentence.
It is so much
I
sentence
love it. I'm just like, wow, that's so many adjectives. I'm here for it.
in a nautical campaign, a horse on a boat.
Horse on a boat. All right. Come through, Dothraki. Bitter water. Let's do this shit. Okay. And wait a minute. Does that just leave me? That just leaves
That
me.
just leaves you, Mama. Let's go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Arnica. Thank you so much for staying with us this season as we brought you through to book 2 of Avatar Reign of Smoke and Ashes, especially since, none of us really were prepared for what was going to pop off in real life. Just as soon as we start doing this story, we're like, cool. So, for everyone who was able to stay with us, I really do appreciate it. And for those of you who were not, I absolutely understand. Um, you can find me everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Hi, Blue Sky as Arnica X Ross. I got a link tree. I'm fancy now.
Damn.
I'm the creative director over at Girls Run These Worlds, and we are getting ready to launch some exciting new stuff. We've got a game of Numenera coming up soon with our spectacular, uber talented GM Angela. We've got a House of Rookwood game, Blood Will Out, with GM Maddie, and Hamalu Emma. Is she doing Dragon Age for us? She sure is. All Templars are bastards, and it's got
All
to
of
be
them.
damn spectacular. So freaking funny. Feel free to stop by, check us out. There's going to be a council game, and if maybe you can pop in and join us. I guess we're going to be playing the Jackboxes. Nana has no
Nice.
more excuses. I have to learn to play Jackbox now. Um, but until then, until we come back, Until you find me again as Effie in Animorphs. I guess I'm just going to have to see you elsewhere. Y'all have a great evening. Thanks for being with us. Stick around for the raid.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and speaking of raids, we will be raiding our friends over at Critical Misses because that's where we're going.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, thanks everybody for being with us, and we will see you. I will see y'all next week, and we will see you later.
Thanks for joining us for season 2.
Thank you. Goodbye. See you later. We love you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.